Proverbs 4:23 says, "Above all else, guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life." That sounds important. I think what so catches my eye about that verse, what is so ministered to me about that verse, is that when we experience pain, so if we think we have to guard our hearts, God says He'll really guard it. We guard it, but it's His strength that guards it. But when we start to make our own plans, ooh, I don't know, that hurt me. God, where were you? I don't know if you're good. I don't know if I can trust you. Now I'm going to start to make my own plan because I get hurt. We get hurt. Guard your heart. I tried to guard my heart. God, where were you? You weren't guarding my heart very well. Now I'm in pain. Now what do I do with that pain? Because God made us to need intimacy. He made us social creatures who we want intimacy with Him and we want intimacy with others. But when we experience pain, then we can easily let that doubt come in and think God might not be the good God that the Bible tells us He is. And we start to make our own plan to comfort that pain, and oh, what a mess we can get ourselves into when our pain causes us to seek comfort or pleasure in other places. And it's like that other proverb that says, sin is like that morsel that's sweet to the tongue, but when you swallow it down, then it starts to make you sick.
Yeah. Well, I actually just about a few weeks ago met up with a friend because I was telling them, they asked me, Mandisa, are you happy? Right? And it's very easy for people to just assume that I am, because I'm like, you're outgoing, very spirited human being who knows everybody and, is friends with everybody. But often what happens is that with that, it's just a facade. People don't ever really pry beyond the facade. No one can have that many friends. It's unrealistic. It's really unrealistic. It is. Something's going on. I'm just teasing. But it was really nice for me to just break open to her that I just feel so empty and kind of like I don't have my center anymore. Like my heart is not there. Like the heart itself is not there. And she cried a little bit, and I explained to her that, the culture of, which is why I came to the flourish sexuality thing, I wanted community. The culture of keeping in community with other women, and that being the center of my heart, what keeps my heart. Because my Bible says, keep your heart with all vigilance. What keeps your heart? And God is the keeper of my heart, and community with God's women and God's children, church and all of that, that keeps my heart. And it's easy to get lost in. For me, I love to keep busy, I love to keep friends, and that distracts me from my heart. And that's not keeping my heart, and that hurts my heart. And so I try to make up for what I'm missing with all of these people and all of the busyness, and that's not quite what God means by keep the heart and guard the heart. So like finding my way back to that diligence of like just being and abiding with Him is now the process. How do I do that? What's the work that's necessary for that? So
and you have learned what you need to do that, and you make sure that you have that in your life. That's good.
I'm learning it.
Yes.
I'm learning it.
Yes. And different stages bring different opportunities.
Yeah.
That's good.
I went through something really difficult. Is almost like a midlife crisis or something. Probably about
An early one.
an early,
A quarter a century life crisis.
I know. I was thinking, how can I? Is it a quarter? No, I'm a little older than
She's
that.
a little older than that.
Yeah. So early midlife crisis, where I was just thinking, Life just hasn't gone how I planned. Marriage is very difficult. Motherhood is difficult. Just different things. Like, I was in a phase of life here. This was so wonderful. Why can't it be like that now? And it really produced a lot of anxiety in me. And instead of turning to the Lord, I started turning to close friends and just giving them and I'm speaking, eloquently or very put together right now, but I was a mess. I was an anxious wreck. And so I'm confiding in these friends, and I'm just giving them the complete, unfiltered, just torrential downpour of my emotion and confusion. And I would feel remorse after the conversation, like, I think I said too much. I think that I was not being respectful of them, and I'm putting too much on them. But I kept finding myself in that season doing that because, we're friends. We're supposed to bear each other's burdens. So I was giving so much of what was going on and there was actually some backlash from that. Because they were going through difficult things too, and transitional times that I wasn't being sensitive to. And it just made me realize that all of this stuff that's welling up in my heart, that there is a safe place to take this, and the Lord can handle it. And I was not just guarding my heart, but I wasn't being sensitive to my friends and guarding their hearts, So
that's a great.
Yeah, that was a really, really hard lesson to learn, because when you are that vulnerable and you realize that it's not being well received and that you have overshared, that I just had to learn how to kind of rein it in, go to the Lord with everything, but proceed with wisdom and sensitivity in my friendships,
That's good, Savannah. Guarding your friends' hearts too.
Yes, interesting.
Because we want to be transparent. We want to be vulnerable. We want to be honest. We don't want to wear our mask.
Right.
And yet there is a prudent way to do that and a not so prudent way to do that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
It's very good.